EV Comply, simplifying your charge point installations.
Another week, another podcast, and we've made it to Friday the 16th of December, so let's see what's been happening in the EV world this week. Excitingly this week, the second biggest EV charging hub in the UK has gone live in Rhyl. The rapid chargers will also assist taxi drivers by minimising disruption to operational work time. All of the chargers at the hub are open for public use, whilst 3 parking bays and charging units are specifically allocated for disabled users. The units offer a range of payment options, including contactless card, app-driven and RFID cards. Daytime and peak time users will still pay for a parking space at the hub, but the electric vehicle bays will have no parking charges between 5 p.m. and 8 a.m. as per the rest of the car park. Not so excitingly, the rate of growth in EV ownership in the UK has fallen for the 4th consecutive quarter as the cost of living and higher electricity costs has taken its toll. But in Northern Ireland, there was a 72% increase in the number of private battery electric vehicle registrations in the 3rd quarter of this year compared with the same period in 2021. Latest Department of Transport and DVLA said that electric vehicle registration figures revealed that BEV registrations across the UK increased just 9.8% between quarter 2 and quarter 3 of this year. This compares to an 11.6% increase in registrations between quarters 1 and 2 and a 15.5% increase between quarter 4 from 2021 and quarter 1 of 2022. An exclusive agreement for BP Pulse to expand its national charging network with high-speed electric vehicle charge points at around 70 M&S stores has been approved this week. The first pilot sites are now open at M&S Maidstone, Eclipse and Southgate, with initial ambition to install up to 900 BP Pulse charge points, adding up to 40,000 kilowatts of charging capacity within the next 2 years. The agreement is part of M&S's plans to build a store estate fit for the future and make it easier for customers to live a lower carbon lifestyle. BP plans to invest up to $1 billion in UK EV charging infrastructure by 2030. BMW have been really busy. A quad-motor, fully electric BMW M car is officially in the works, with the German firm testing a concept recently spotted in the public domain for the first time that will form the bias of its next generation of performance EVs. This change accommodates the electric motors fitted to each wheel, feeding power through a brand new X-Drive 4-wheel drive system designed to recoup energy under braking. BMW said this new drive system opens up completely new possibilities, with extremely precise torque and power delivered to each wheel within milliseconds. Speaking of batteries, researchers have invented a new game-changing battery which does not decrease in charge capacity, even after hundreds of uses. Now, an international research team from the University of New South Wales in Australia and Yokohama National University in Japan have claimed to have designed the next generation of EV batteries. They are said to last far longer than the current batteries used in most electric cars. The scientists believe that this new technology could provide a viable and vastly superior alternative to current battery technologies, as experts say that they could even decrease the cost drastically, which, as we know at the moment, is very needed for production. Now, with it being the 16th of December, it's only right that we talk Christmas, but of course EV style. Now, a Nissan LEAF is providing the sparkle for Nissan Sunderland plant's Christmas display to celebrate production of their 250,000th pioneering electric vehicle in the UK. Now, they're doing this to demonstrate the ability of the LEAF to act as a mobile power plant. It's going to be lighting up a 32-foot Christmas tree and its shimmering reindeer. Alan Johnson, who's vice president at the manufacturing of Nissan Sunderland's plants, said passing 250,000 Nissan LEAF is a tremendous milestone and demonstrates the electric vehicle manufacturing expertise we have built up at our plant over the past decade. This year, we have completely electrified the plant's lineup with the new versions of Quashi and Duke launched. So lighting up the Christmas tree with our original EV is a spectacular and appropriate way to end 2022, and we absolutely agree. Now, Nissan isn't the only company doing cool stuff. Staff working for a forward-thinking manufacturer can now charge their electric vehicles for free after their employer made an investment to combat the energy bills crisis. Haslingden's Rospen has installed electric vehicle charging points on site and pledged that all staff can use them to charge their personal vehicles without any cost. The business, which designs and manufactures weighing and metering equipment for a range of industries, has invested in charging points in a bid to lead from the front in supporting those opting for a greener travel. In the car industry, companies have always gone round innovative ways to get the job done. So, for example, Ford founders Henry Ford was happy to buy a rubber plantation to supply tyre factories. Fordlandia in Brazil built to bypass the British monopoly on rubber, and they also were happy to grow soybeans to turn into plastic. Now, modern car companies have so far not liked the idea, though, of actually owning mines. Instead, what Tesla and others such as BMW, Ford, Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis and Volkswagen are doing is going right through the supplier tiers to strike agreements with the mining companies for battery materials. For example, Tesla has 16 deals according to a recent Financial Times investigation. Ford has 8 and BMW has 7. Most are so-called off-take deals where they promise to buy a certain amount of lithium, nickel or whatever they need in return for investment or help raising of funds. This year's Mining World Conference, held in London at the end of November, was full of buyers from the automotive industry. "I've never seen that before," said Jeremy Rathhall, who is head of the UK mining startup Cornish Lithium. BMW reckons its agreements have already helped keep material costs down amid a spike in lithium prices. Motor Fuel Group's EV Paua network has joined the Paua platform, enabling Paua drivers to access 248 charging devices at 49 high-powered charging hub locations. MFG aims to deliver 500 chargers and 1,000 new connectors in 2023 as part of its plan to spend $400 million on their latest EV strategy, with a focus on providing ultra-rapid chargers at all 900 sites, all powered by 100% renewable energy. Jaguar is boosting its EV range for the MY24 F-Pace. The plug-in SUV now goes further on electric, but the SVR V8 remains on sale for those that want it. The AA has launched its new monthly AA EV recharge report, analysing the pay-as-you-go pricing across all charge point speeds available on the public charging network. The report takes the average price of more than 6,000 publicly available charging units across the UK and around a fifth of all devices at 17% to help drivers understand the cost of charging and help them determine the speed of charge needed while out on the road. The report will give drivers an initial insight into charge point costs they can expect to keep their EV running without subscriptions, said the AA. The 3 top ranking reasons to purchase an EV are apparently as so. Number 1, you can fill up an EV as easily as you charge your phone. Yes, it takes a little longer, but apparently that's what people are loving about EVs. Number 2, you may feel a little bit like a race car driver. Now, jokes aside, they are very nippy and quite fun to drive. You don't get much fun as an adult, do you really? So that's quite good. And number 3 is, of course, you can get some serious tax benefits. So apparently those are the top 3 reasons why people are considering, or if not already, in an EV. It's been a good week for VW. They have claimed the largest EV charging network in Europe. It now boasts 400k chargers across 27 countries. I wonder how Tesla feels about that. So the technology known as vehicle to home is a type of electric vehicle charging whereby energy can be stored in a car and pumped back into a home. This kind of capability could help certain states keep the lights on during extreme weather events such as heat waves, which can cause the grid to struggle with balancing the increased energy demand from air conditioning. Demand was so high in California this year that people were advised to not charge their cars at certain times to help the grid manage. In the UK, we've also had warnings from the national grid about how rolling blackouts could be introduced this winter should supply levels not meet demand. Although it is worth pointing out that this is a worst case scenario, but should we be looking now more heavily into vehicle to home? What do you think? We would love to hear from you. And finally, here at EV Comply, we're very excited to let you know that come January, there are going to be some very big changes. That's all we can say for now, but a little teaser, why not? So from me, that is it. You are now in the EV Know. I'll be back with you next Friday. Make sure you keep yourself safe and warm and keep subscribing and listening. Have a great weekend.